Hello, Sandman Nation, and welcome back for episode number 73. We have one game remaining in the 2025-26 college football season, and it is going to be a good one. And the NFL playoffs just kicked off with a fun and crazy wild card weekend. But you know what else is fun and crazy? These guys. So let's get into it because it is time to enter Sandman Sports. With me, as always, are two of the best in the business, Mr. Pat Klatt and the Sandman himself, Mr. Bill Sanders. How we doing today, boys?
Wonderful.
Excellent. Crystal clear HD, new webcam.
I know, dude. Yep. I mean, that is good. So you went out and bought a new one?
How do you lose a webcam?
You couldn't.
That's the question for the episode.
You lost a webcam. Wow. All right. Well, hey, dude, you've never looked better, man. You've never looked better.
Appreciate
it. Man. Damn. All right. Well, guys, let's get right into it. It's time for today's random questions of the day. Bill, it is your turn to go first. And man, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know what got into me, but I'm feeling kind of generous today. This is somewhat of a softball. Pat, don't expect the same type of generosity next week. Bill, here you go. We'll ask it, and then we'll give you a minute. But this one I don't think is too tough. All right. Bill, I want to know who your favorite Disney princess is and why. Okay?
Oh, man.
Favorite Disney princess and why.
I know
come
mine.
back to you in just a moment. I know it is. I know it is. See, I'm being kind. 2026, it's the kinder, gentler Bierman. Okay, Pat, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather start a colony on another planet or be the leader of a country on Earth?
Oof. Start a colony on another planet.
I knew you were going to say that, dude.
For sure.
I know you too well, dude.
Yeah.
Dude,
I don't want to go up against America.
No, dude, I'm
kind
of done. I'm done with Earth, man. If there's another frontier out there that I can lead, let's give it a shot.
Do I get to make the rules?
Oh yeah, you're the fucking leader,
for
dude.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm the leader.
Yeah, it'll be called Planet Pat.
Meta World Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I love it. All right, good. Bill. All right, Disney princess. Who you got?
Okay, I have to admit I'm not a huge Disney guy. But the first person that came to mind, correct me if this is not a princess. No, this is going to be terrible. But I'm going to go with Rapunzel. She's a princess, correct?
I don't know if she is, but
kind of.
She's a female heroine of Disney.
She is. At the end, they find out that she's the daughter of the king. She was the daughter of the king, but she was stolen. Guys.
Oh, wow.
Disney princess, Disney
inside knowledge.
Well versed.
Thank you, Pat. Yeah. But my reason is very simple. She had amazing hair.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's got amazing hair.
And I'm jealous of her hair. So you just give me that hair, and I mean, what else do you need? Plus, didn't she get to live up high in that like a turret
tower
or like a tower?
Yeah.
That's cool. Good views.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Solid.
I would have gone with Belle.
Views.
I mean,
Belle,
who's yours?
Belle can read books, so I like her. She's well.
I mean, there's really not a wrong answer on this, except Belle.
And just so you guys know, on my planet, the transfer portal doesn't, and coaches changes can't start till after the season.
Brilliant.
Is over.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I love it. Love it. All right. Well, let's get into it, guys. We don't have any Disney princesses on our site, and we don't run any intergalactic colonies, but we do certainly give all those sports fans and sports bettors out there all of our awesome content every day. So be sure to check out our site daily at sandmansports.com. I am excited, guys. Golf season is starting this weekend, and we have the Sandman back writing his weekly freaking awesome column called Crush and Fade, which I absolutely love. We just published your first one of the season this morning, Bill. Another great read. Yeah, it's awesome. Looking forward to seeing those. And in addition to Bill's column, Plan to see a lot more golf coverage this season overall, guys. Another one of our writers, Tracy Granzik, she will be publishing a weekly series called Herd on the Range. And she will be breaking down also each tournament with some best bets, storylines, course information, all that as well. And her first article in this series is out there right now, just in time for the Sony Opens. Should be good. And of course, everyone, please be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn. All right, let's get into the opening, gentlemen. Last week, we were all about the CFP, where we gave our reactions to the 4 quarterfinal games and then broke down and made our predictions for each of the semis, which, by the way, Bill, you went 2-0, and Eric and Pat each went 1-1. So nice job with our semifinal predictions today.
Chalky.
Yeah. Today we have a very supersized opening and are going to cover a lot. This week is almost all focused on the NFL. Almost. We are going to start by dusting off our predictions from the preseason, where we picked every division winner and gave 4 prop bets each for the season. And of course, we gave our Super Bowl matchup and winner there. So we'll see how we did and if any of us are still looking good as the playoffs heat up. Then we just had an incredible wildcard weekend, boys. So we'll dive into each of those 6 games briefly, share our takeaways and insights from each of those matchups. Then we'll look ahead to the divisional round this weekend, where we have 4 more compelling games. We'll break each of those down, give our predictions and picks for each of those. And then finally, we will wrap up this segment by talking a little CFP, of course. We got to break down next Monday's championship game and give our predictions for that one. So we have a lot to cover here. And because we're making a lot of picks in this spot, just a heads up to our listeners, we're not going to be doing our Stone Cold Locks this week, but you're going to get plenty of picks here in our opening. But by the way, I will just give an update. Last week in our Stone Cold Locks, guys, we all went 2-1. So
Nice.
I guess as
We're
they
back.
say, it's better late than never. So hopefully we finish off football season strong with our picks and get some momentum headed into golf season, where we'll continue making our golf picks each week as well. All right, well, let's see how we did with our prognostications dating all the way back to late August. We predicted each NFL division winner, the Super Bowl matchup, and we gave 4 total season-long prop bets as well, 2 for the AFC and 2 for the NFC. I got to say, guys, I did not do too hot with these. Just gonna let you know, not my best day in the sun. But let's see how you both did as we jump in here. So we'll start with the AFC East champ. We all picked the Bills, which I don't think was a surprise, but the Patriots actually had a crazy turnaround season under Mike Vrabel and Drake May, and they won that division. For the AFC North, we were also all off, but Bill was a little closer. He had the Ravens. Me and Pat were chumps and took the Bengals. And the Steelers ended up winning that division. And then onto the AFC South, where I actually probably had my best pick. I predicted the Jaguars. Sure enough, they finished 13-4 and in first place in that division. You both had the Texans, which were right there to the very end. And then for the AFC West, Pat surprisingly took the hated Chiefs. I was surprised to see that. But Bill and I each went Broncos, and we were correct with our Denver pick. For our AFC prop bets, I really struggled on these 2. All right, Pat, you had Ravens under 11.5, and they went 8-9. So good job there.
Mm-hmm.
Bill, you went over Broncos 9.5, and they finished tied for the best record in the league with the Seahawks and Patriots at 14-3. So great job there. And man, I was feeling so confident on this one. I actually gave a bonus one. I was all Aston Genty. I went over 7.5 rushing touchdowns, and so confident I threw a bonus one in there and said he'll go over 1,050 rushing yards. Yeah, he didn't hit either. He had 5 touchdowns and 975 rushing yards. That's what you get for backing a Raiders player. Then for our second AFC prop bet, Bill crushed it once again with his Bills over 11.5. They squeaked by on that one, but they
Too
got
easy.
it nonetheless. They
Never
won
a doubt.
12 games. Pat and myself did not do well in our second prop bet. Pat, man, I don't know what the hell you were thinking. You had the Jets. You had the Jets going over 6.5.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Believe me, I have no room to talk here. And you'll see, especially as we get into the NFC. But I had no faith in Derrick Henry as my second one. I predicted under 13.5 rushing TDs. He actually finished with 16, and his 4 touchdown performance the second to last week of the season did not help me one bit. So, Bill, you went 1-3 in divisions, but 2-0 for your props. So 3-3 overall in the AFC.
All right.
Pat, you went 0-4 divisions, 1-1 props, so 1-5 overall. But let's hope the NFC went better for you. And then I went 2-2 divisions, 0-2 props, so 2-4 overall. All right, let's see if the NFC gets any brighter. Pat, we'll start with the NFC East. Pat, you picked the Cowboys. Eric picked the Commanders. None of those came through. Bill, of course, picked the Eagles and got the point for that one. So nice job. Bill, for the NFC North, Pat and Eric both took chalk with the Lions, and we were way off as they actually finished last in that division, which I still can't believe. But looky at what the Sandman predicted. Yes, he took the freaking Chicago Bears to win the
Nice,
NFC
Bill.
North, dude. Damn. I could not believe that, dude.
Yeah.
There's a spreadsheet that Brooke, when we make all those picks, I asked Brooke to go in and put them on the spreadsheet. So it's easy for me to just go back and look. So I pulled it and I was like, there's no right.
No way.
There's no way. She made a mistake. I went back and listened to that episode.
Do you remember
Sure
why
enough.
I said
No.
Ben Johnson?
Oh, yeah. No, you were all in on Ben Johnson. On Ben Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyways, great pick, dude. Great pick.
Thanks. Yeah.
NFC South, we all missed. You two had the Bucks. I went Falcons. In fairness, both of those tied for best record in that division at 8-9, but lost the tiebreaker to Carolina. And then the NFC West, you two knew the Seahawks would do it, but I went Rams. And it was funny listening back to that. We all said that was by far the hardest division to pick. Even you said that, Bill. Even you.
Yeah. Oh,
even you
for
said
sure.
that. Yeah.
I couldn't remember if I took the Seahawks, but my homerism, of course,
Oh yeah.
had to come into play.
All right, for NFC prop bets, Pat, you took. I liked this bet. I don't believe it's gonna pay off, but Pat, you took Jahmyr Gibbs at plus 1,300 to win Offensive Player of the Year. And that usually does go to a non-quarterback in many cases, like that particular thing. So it was a good bet, but I don't think I think it's going to go to Puka.
He ain't
from
gonna
what
get it.
Puka's, wow.
Yeah, but I like it. And then Bill, you went over 8.5 for your Seahawks. No surprise there. Got that big time. And I went J.J. McCarthy over 3,600 passing yards and came up short. Now, that I think was due a little bit to injuries and missed time and stuff, but still not a good pick in hindsight. And then for a second prop, Pat went against our Nostradamus here. He showed no faith in the Bears and said his Stone Cold lock was under 7.5 wins. And he even
some
said,
homerism,
dude, listening to this, you even said, and I quote, they'll be lucky to get one division win.
Our homerism runs deep, boys.
Look,
God.
you can't,
Do you hate the Bears or the Packers more, Pat?
I hate the Packers more. I actually don't mind the Bears. I'm rooting for the Bears.
He picked the Bears at the playoffs. He's been picking the Bears.
Yeah.
But no, the Packers.
Packers are just it.
Packers are my least favorite.
Yeah. Bill, your second one was you love the Eagles, man. You loved the Eagles, and you said Eagles at plus 650 to win the Super Bowl. You said you will not get better odds all season long than those. So you said jump on all those. And then I went with Chris Olave under 825 yards receiving, and he basically said, F you, Bierman, and put up 1,163 receiving yards with some help from his rookie quarterback. Tyler, what is it? Tyler Shuck? Is that how it's from?
Shuck.
Shuck?
Yep,
Shuck. Tyler
Yeah.
Shuck. Bill, you went 3-1 with your divisions, 1-1 props. So 4-2 overall in the NFC, 7-5 overall. So
Okay, making a little
very
money.
nice, man.
and those are not easy picks. Those are tough.
No, I like it.
I mean,
man.
the Bears odds had to be good.
No, yeah, Bears were good. Pat, you went 1-3 divisions, 0-2 props, so 1-5 NFC and 2-10 overall.
2-10 overall.
But don't
Let's
feel
go.
too bad, Pat. Don't feel too bad because you're about to get some company. I went 0-4 divisions, 0-2 props.
Nice.
So 0-6 in the NFC and 2-10 overall. Pat,
Look,
there's always next
Rough.
year, brother. There's always next
Yeah.
year. We'll be back. We'll be back and we'll be better
for sure.
than ever. Now, I will say, little silver lining here. Let's get into our Super Bowl picks. None of us did well, but Pat and I at least still have a chance to get one of our teams there. Pat and Eric both went with the Lions versus Bills. Now, we had Lions winning it, but Bills still have a chance to get there. Bill, you went with the Eagles versus the Ravens.
Yeah.
And you had the Ravens winning it all. Yeah. Which, I mean, you know, which isn't a bad, I mean, I don't know what the hell happened to them this year.
No,
I mean, I guess
the Eagles were my first pick
good.
in the NFL teams pool as well. And that loss to the Niners, boy, Philly is not happy. Mike, we got to get Paxton on to
we should get Paxton back
the
on.
hatred of Sirianni and everything, the Eagles.
Yeah. All right, guys, enough of that, though. Enough of that. Let's talk about this weekend's wild card action. I want to hear your reactions and thoughts from each of the 6 games. I love wild card weekend. It is one of my favorite weekends of football. It never disappoints. Never disappoints. I watched basically every snap of every game. I fell asleep a little bit last night toward the end, and I fell asleep a little bit toward the end of the Chargers Patriots game. And both of those were kind of the 2 duds of the whole slate. But really great action. So let's start with the first game of the weekend. Rams at Carolina, where LA won 34-31. Pat, let's start with you. What are your takeaways from that one?
Well, but it must be nice for the Rams defense to think we just got to hold them under 35 points and we're good. Because that off, like, it's not really a big challenge for that defense. Whereas you got like Houston Texans defense, they're like, we have to keep them under 13 points or we're going to lose because we know Stroud's not going to do it. So, it's got to be nice. I thought Carolina and Young looked good. I didn't get a chance to watch them much this year, but they can move the ball. T-Mac is a good wide receiver, and they might be my preseason pick next year to win that division.
There you go.
Let's just put it that way.
I like it.
So,
I like it.
Yeah. It's wide open. Yeah. It's got to be.
Yeah.
What about you, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, I was at a wedding, so I was not able to see the whole game. But I was checking on my phone and just amazed that the Panthers were keeping it as close. I mean, that spread was 10.5. And I was kicking myself a little bit because in the playoff sportsbook last second, I changed from money line to the spread, just thinking the Rams are just going to blow these guys out. I mean, Carolina's not going to. Anyway, so that was
my stone cold log. They were the one stone cold log I missed on.
Yeah,
I switched mine from the Panthers getting 10 points to the Panthers on the money line. I was like, this might be a sneaky.
Yeah.
I was like, this might be a sneaky. You're getting 5-1 on them to win at home. I thought maybe this is just like this could be a sneaky play.
I mean, and you were the only
close.
one. Yeah. I think you were the only one in the entire pool that had any action on Carolina.
I didn't
money
put
line.
much. I put like
but still, it was a good payout.
I
think it was plus 360 or something. It was it was
like 5.
Or
it was like
it was way, you're right. It was because 10.5 points. So anyway, it was I was surprised, but I think it's cool to see Bryce Young's ascension into a decent quarterback. And I mean, Puka Nacua, I did see when he dropped that ball, that Stafford laid right in his hands. Like Puka catches that one for like a 50. It would have been a 50-yard
It would have
touchdown.
been a touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he catches that ball, what, 99 out of 100 times?
Oh, dude, at least. Yeah.
He just turned his head. He just got his head around in time. So that's a tough catch, but but it was right in his hands. It was right there. A lot of,
I couldn't believe he dropped
this weekend.
There were a lot of drops this weekend, Pat. You're right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was a weird one
Bierman?
because it started out where I thought the Rams were going to win by 20. I mean,
me too.
It did not look like they were even going to have to worry about losing. Stafford, though, guys, to me looked off the entire game. I know that drop, but he just, I know his hand got, there was like some more
the helmet.
But he just, I know they scored 30, were they 34 points or 35, whatever, but I don't know. It's just this team, I picked them to go far in the playoffs, but I'm starting to worry a little bit. I don't know. Something just seemed off to me. I do think they catch a break with Niners beating Philly. So now they don't have to go to Seattle yet. They can go to Chicago, face a pretty bad defense, really. Chicago's D is not good. So hopefully they can get right before they have to face that Von Seahawks D again. But I don't know. It just, my takeaway was maybe the Rams aren't as good as I thought they were. All right. Packers-Bears game. Chicago won that one 31-27. Pat, what are your thoughts on that one?
So I went to a concert that night and we drove the first quarter, we drove to the venue and then we went to a bar outside of the venue and watched the end of the first half. And I'm like, and it was kind of interesting. We just chose this random bar and it was half Packer fans, half Bear fans. Everyone's in their gear. The half of the bar is cheering and then the other half's cheering. And it was pretty fun environment, but I was like, oh, this is gross. I knew it. The Packers are going to do this. Damn it. And then I went to the concert and came out and my son's a huge Bears fan. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go home. I'm going to try not to look him in the face. I'm going to have it recorded and I'm just going to watch the second half. And I got home hammered drunk. Like, I mean, I was like, I haven't tied one on like this in a while. And it was good. It was good for me. It's good for your soul to have a night where you just let her rip once in a while. And so I watched that second half bombed in bed, So then I woke up the next morning. I'm like, God, did they really come back and win that game? So it was fun. It was good, but I gotta say, that Bears magic. It's like, it seems like they've done this 8 times this year where they start off sleepy. They look terrible. Everyone in Chicago's like, damn it, Williams is such a dumbass. And then all of a sudden he just turns it on and they figure it out. It's crazy. A little bit of magic going on there in Chicago. So
yeah.
Bill?
I mean, well said. I mean, that Packers jumped out to that big lead and it was just like, all right, well, I guess Ben Johnson was great during the regular season, but yeah, it's over. At one point I have multiple text threads, including with you guys and others. So there's a lot of text flying around usually on football.
What's it like being so popular?
I don't know about that, but I do like to weigh in on various things. But at some point, my Minneapolis buddies that I'm in this thread with, they're saying, "Oh, Packers," and Jeff Heil was one of them, Bierman, and we had taken Jordan Love with our last pick in the playoff draft.
Oh God. Yeah.
And so Heil's celebrating like, what a last pick. I mean, can you believe this? He's got 4 touchdowns and all this. And I go, my text was, look out for the cardiac kids, the Bears.
Yep. Yeah.
And because it was 21-3, I believe, at this point.
Yeah.
So he didn't have 4 touchdowns yet, obviously, but
3.
And what do you know? I mean, they come rolling back, and it's just those guys had also put money on the Packers, I think. And so it was just one of those ones where, I didn't seriously believe that the Bears were going to come back, but it's just like Pat said, they just have done it all season long. And Caleb Williams, that has to be his best game, right? I mean,
that throw he made. Fourth down,
the one where he's moving to his left,
and he's moving to his left, and he just leaves his feet. That's all arm. There's no core. That's all arm.
Yeah,
I think he threw for almost 400 yards. I mean, and clutch yards in the second half. So anyway, fun game. Really fun game.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys said it all. To me, it was simple, the takeaway. Do not ever count this Bears team out. I mean, they just looked like they had no chance to win it. The under, by the way, looked golden, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I had the over. That was one of my picks, and I had some money on that. And then Caleb and company got hot, scored 25 points, and stopped Jordan Love on that desperation toss. So there's just something special about this team. They're fun to watch. That said, I still do not see this team going much farther. Well, that just means they probably will, because I've been doubting them all year long, and they just keep coming back. The cardiac kids. You're right, Bill.
Yeah.
All right. Next up was Sunday afternoon, where the Bills, another great game. They traveled to Florida to take on the Jags, and the Bills prevailed 27-24. Reactions from this one, Pat?
Yeah, I mean, luckily Hangover Sunday was wife and daughter were still out of town. So I got to wake up, go into Perkins with my son. We had some breakfast. Oh,
I could not tell you the last time I've been to Perkins.
Greasy bacon and eggs.
I didn't know they had
breakfast.
those out there.
Oh, yeah, they're Perkins, still good. They're the best. Perkins breakfast. Although they must have raised their prices like 3 times. Like, you know how inflation happened? They used to be like 99 cents for eggs. Now it's like
no longer.
$4. You're like, what? Okay. Anyway, so I'm watching this game. You know, it's nice to watch it uninterrupted, and we don't really have anything going on. And my son's getting really into football, so we're watching this game. And early on in the game, it's like 4th and 2 or 3, and for the Jags, and they're driving, and they kind of have control of the game early. And like we talked about on the pod last week, these coaches are like, what's wrong with taking points? So I look at my son, I'm like, they should just take the points here. They didn't take the points. They got stuffed. That's the difference in the game. They lost by 3. So, I mean, it's kind of stupid. They abandoned the run. The Jags abandoned the run. They were running the ball fine against the defense, and they stopped that.
Yeah,
it was just
Bills defense.
And you know, you got playoff Jared Allen and Trevor Lawrence being Trevor Lawrence, and that's how it works. That's how it equals a Bills win. You know, just stupid.
I gotta throw this in there, Pat, because you do this all the time. You always go back to your Vikings, like deep in the recesses of your brain, and call Josh Allen Jared Allen.
Did I call him Jared Allen?
Yeah, because you do that all the time. Yeah.
I do that all the time.
I just love it. It's like that's.
I mean, Jared Allen is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I know.
Josh Allen, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, what a great game. That was a fun one. Almost a shame, I felt like, for Jacksonville. I guess, you know, they're going to play all good teams in the playoffs, but there was something fun about this team, and I kind of found myself rooting for them. Although the Bills have also not had their you know, success in the playoffs, let's say. So I don't know. I found myself watching this game just being entertained. The one point that I was actually going to call out in this one, and I mentioned this briefly to Pat before the pod we were recording, but enough with the tush push. I'm officially out on the tush push. And there was the one, I mean,
10-yard tush push.
Yeah, there was. I mean, that one they actually went 10 yards down. Originally called Josh Allen in for the touchdown, but he was down, you know, at the 1 or whatever. But it's just, now they motion the big fullbacky dude behind the quarterback, and then you have giant Josh Allen, and then the dude just pushing him, and I don't know.
The lineman was practically
football?
Carrying him. When are they going to just do
he's like
where Josh Allen jumps into their arms of the lineman and they just carry him like a baby?
I know. I don't know. It's just, I felt like they ran that play 10 times, and I was saying to Pat, I think it felt like every series of downs.
What would be the name of that play? The cradle.
The cradle
push.
Yeah, exactly.
Carrying over the threshold, like I was imagining. Like, in the arms. Anyway, great football game. Kudos to the Bills. Gutsy comeback on the road.
Yeah. Guys, this was the 3rd straight game over the weekend where the team losing the 2-minute warning ended up winning the game.
Crazy comeback.
So, yeah, it was crazy comebacks. Lots of points scored, as you mentioned, Bill, in the 4th quarter. I still see lots of flaws in Buffalo. I do. Mm-hmm. But as long as they have Josh Allen, they always have a chance. I know that they were going up against the number 1 rated rush defense, and the Jags had given up 75 yards rushing all season to any one guy. But the Bills, they're going to need to get James Cook going to keep defenses honest going forward and give Allen some time and some breathing room. And I don't think they're going to get it next week against Broncos, because the Broncos also have a really good rush defense. But there's some concern there, I think. But Josh Allen doing Josh Allen stuff, and Bills very well could keep going. But I feel bad for Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, because they were right there. They could have, probably should have won that game, and it was a great season. And I think the Jags they'll stick around for a while, similar to the Bears. Like, I think their head coach is going to keep them in it, and I do like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
All right.
I like his hair.
He's got good hair. He's got good hair.
Got good hair.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Niners versus Eagles in Philly. This was the fourth game of the weekend to finish within a one-score margin. San Francisco won 23-19. Pat, what say you on this one?
Yeah, Eagles, San Fran. I had a dinner, so I tried to listen to it on the radio on the way there, and later when I got home, watch it at the end. But I saw what I needed. A.J. Brown, dropsies, and the Eagles offense that can't put together any kind of flow. Hurts was supposed to have all day to throw the ball. They can't rush the passer, but it was windy, so that didn't help. And the Eagles were definitely my regret pick of the week, because San Fran sucks. So I just
agreed.
I don't know how they don't get that done, but I get it, because it's just like, it makes sense, because this is typical what you've seen out of the Eagles all year. They just can't, Barkley's getting tackled in the backfield. He can't even get downhill at all. And AJ Brown's complaining and yelling at the coach, and then the ball comes his way and he drops it. And it's just they just can't get any kind of rhythm on offense. And it seemed like a lock going into it. So, oh well.
Yeah, agreed. The city of Seattle was living and dying on every game throughout the weekend, just in hopes that the Rams wouldn't be coming to Seattle next weekend.
Yeah.
And, you had the Panthers almost upset them in the first game. Then you had the Packers blow that huge lead against the Bears. And so pins and needles, to say the least. And then the Niners somehow pull it out against Philly, which, if I had picked all three of those games, I think I was less concerned. I might have been less concerned. No, I guess the Rams. I felt like the Rams were going to blow out Carolina.
But the Eagles were number two for me. Yeah.
I just thought, that they're just going to get it done. The Niners stink. I mean, they're not good, and they're so injured. And so
that's the problem. They're just
they have a great coach. I mean, they have a lot of good players, but and now, of course, I'm absurdly overconfident this weekend against the Niners, and Niners it's a division game against Seahawks, and we'll talk about that later. But I mean, Philly, just disappointing, just really, really disappointing.
Yeah, similar stuff. I just can't believe how San Fran keeps winning these games, though, honestly, as the injuries keep piling up. Now they're going to be without George Kittle for the rest of the playoffs, which
that was a bummer.
Huge blow. Yeah, that was a bummer. The Eagles, I'm telling you, they better figure out their offense in the offseason, because I don't know what the hell happened to this team from Super Bowl champs, where they looked unstoppable on offense, to this. I mean, there were patches where it was hard to watch. And the other takeaway I had was, guys, Brock Purdy might be the most underrated player in the entire league.
He's good.
I mean, this guy just has the it factor. He just leads his team to wins. I love that guy. I really like Purdy.
Yeah.
It's a cool story.
Counting him out, and he keeps.
Yeah.
I didn't think he would amount to anything. When I watched him at Iowa State, I was like, this guy's like.
No.
Wasn't he Mr. Irrelevant?
He was.
He was the last pick. Yeah. He's been phenomenal. Trey Lance, right? I mean, Trey Lance was the second pick that same draft.
That's true. That's true. I forgot. Same draft. All right, guys. And then Sunday night finished with the most boring of all the games, at least the first five. Defensive battle, where the number 2 seeded Patriots took care of business at home, beat the Chargers 16-3. Pat, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, Chris Collinsworth had no good words to describe Herbert's quarterback play. It was bad. He was ripping them. Like, to hear it from Collinsworth, if I was Herbert and I went back and listened to that game, man, next time I saw him, I'd pop him right in the face. Like, he was being pretty mean to him. But I mean, it's funny because like
he was under siege.
Basically saying he was under siege all season. And this game, he was actually having time and he wasn't getting it done. They weren't getting much of a pass rush, but I don't know. Anyway, I should have bet more on this game this week. I don't know why I didn't go all in on this for the Patriots, but anyway.
My 2-pointer in 2 spot this week, Patriots minus 3.5. Not to say that I was feeling comfortable though, but I think if the game was still going right now, the Chargers would have 3 points. I mean,
they weren't getting anything done.
I mean, at any point in that game were you actually worried that or thinking that the Chargers would score?
No, I mean, it was tough to watch.
Oh my gosh. And so Patriots are not their cleanest game, but I thought Harbaugh is, a great coach and he's going to muddy this game up and he's going to make it a absolute fist fight, which he did. And I just thought New England's just far better team. At the end of the day, that's just what it is. And kudos to Vrabel and Drake May and all. I mean, what a great season. It continues. So
agree.
Yeah.
Just a great pair. This team can win in so many ways. Sunday was obviously defense, but I mean, of course they can win in shootouts with May's arm. Guys, this is the biggest takeaway I had though. I don't know if you saw this, but I was shocked by the rushing totals in both of these games. In fact, we should get our CRO on this. We haven't had our CRO on in a while. We haven't
did she quit?
Put her to work. No, she's been busy at
Budget
the
cuts.
hospital doing her nursing stuff. But I mean, listen to this, guys. I really want to know the last time this happened in a pro football game. Okay. Do you guys realize that Justin Herbert led his team in rushing with 57 yards and Drake May led his team in rushing with 66 yards? So both quarterbacks were the leading rushers for their teams.
Huh.
I mean,
sounds like a nailed it question.
I mean, seriously, that is just crazy to me. I was frustrated just watching. I didn't have a dog in the hunt or anything, but I don't know why the Pats didn't give Travion Henderson the ball more. Like Stevenson actually got more carries. I just thought that was weird. And I think for the Pats going forward, they're going to need to. Henderson he's electric. He's special. And they got to give him the ball, I think, a little bit more. And Herbert just completed his 6th season, guys, in the league. And he has as many playoff victories as the 3 of us do.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably where he went to college. Probably
true. Good point. Yeah. Finally, let's get into last night's game where the Texans traveled to the Steel City, take on Pittsburgh. Houston won that one 30-6. Pat, lead us off there.
Well, Houston defense is badass. Like there's defense, they're a good defense. This is a scary defense.
Dude.
Like they're scary good. Daniil Hunter, former Viking. I hated to see him go when we got rid of him. That was tough. Because he's like he combined with Will Anderson it's not even
Will Anderson's special, man. He's special.
More drops this week by wide receivers. DK Metcalf, man, dropped a couple of good passes at crucial moments from Rodgers. And Rodgers gets a lot of shit, and as a Vikings fan, I really want to hate him, but he had no one to help him on offense, and he's still making throws. He's still got the arm. He just doesn't have the legs. I mean, if this is it, I would like to take my hat off to A-Rod. He just was always so good. And I mean, it's just no matter your opinion on him, he's just so talented. And I will miss most of all him getting pissed at his teammates and complaining to refs because he's so good at it. He's so good. Do you guys know if he retires for good? Do you guys know the infamous stat that he'll take with him now? He'll be the first quarterback. Yeah, first quarterback in the history of the NFL where his last pass was a pick 6 in the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's a good one to take with you.
I mean, how about that under? So It was the line was different in Sandman stuff, but I have a buddy, Murph, if he's watching or listening, shout out Ryan Murphy. He texted me last night that missed extra point cost him because he had the over 36.5 to finish a parlay. That was a pretty nice payout.
36.5. Wow.
Yeah, you got it at 36.5 on Kalshi.
Yeah.
But it was just, I mean, that game, it was 7-6 starting the fourth quarter.
Under all the way. Yeah.
I was really surprised to see Mike Tomlin 7 straight playoff losses.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, when I saw that stat, I was like, you got to be kidding me. How is that possible?
Yeah.
So, and if this is his last game as well.
He's probably gone.
Kudos to Mike Tomlin, because I think that guy's just a great coach.
He's a great coach, but you got to win the playoffs, man.
You got to win
the playoffs. I mean, that's it. So, yeah, I've been saying all season Pittsburgh's a fraud. It definitely came to light last night. I did think it was interesting. I didn't know this. Pittsburgh had won their last 23 consecutive home games on Monday night, dating back to 1991.
What a streak.
I mean, that is incredible to me. Yeah, that's the last time they lost on Monday night in Pittsburgh, 1991. Jeez. It's crazy.
High school.
Texans had been 0-6 in the playoffs on the road prior to last night, but that crazy good defense stepped up as it usually does. They held Pitt to 211 total yards. D scored 2 touchdowns to boot. So yeah, I mean, you're right. Both of you, the Houston D is, I mean, they're special. So they could. Defense wins championships. I'm not sold on Stroud. We'll talk more about that when we break down the next game. But their defense, I don't know how good Stroud needs to be when you got a defense like that. So, all right, well, let's get into the divisional round matchups this weekend. We have 4 really good ones. Let's start with the game that I'm probably most interested in. That's the Buffalo Bills traveling to the Mile High City, take on the Broncos Saturday afternoon. Buffalo is favored. Denver is favored. Buffalo opened, but now Denver is actually favored by 1.5. Who do you like in this one, Pat? Break it down for us.
So here's the thing. All these, like last week, I'm always like, I don't know, it's going to be close. This week, I'm going to be definitive with my picks. I'm just going to call it, and I'm going to be confident with it. But Broncos will smoke the Bills. Allen and company are too banged up, and Mile High with time to prepare, such an advantage to get the number 1 seed. Unlike college where you get the bye, that doesn't seem to be an advantage. I think in the pros, it's going to be a huge advantage. More time to prepare. Do I want to see Josh Allen do it some year? Yes, but I think he needs more of a supporting cast. So give me the Broncos to just smoke them, just roll right through them.
What do you like, Bill?
Yeah, I'm with Pat. I like Denver at home, and to me, they feel like the most disrespected team in the playoffs this year. I don't know why that is, but they were number 1 seed. They opened as an underdog at home. To Pat's point, same to a super beat up Buffalo team coming off a very physical game against Jacksonville. Now they got to travel again. Boy, I like Sean Payton here. I like him getting his team ready to go. We'll see how Bo Nix performs, but Eric mentioned it earlier. I like Denver's defense as well here, so give me the Broncos.
It's a 3, Pat. I hope I'm wrong because I really want the Bills to go all the way this year, but I think this is their weakest roster in years, and while they somehow found a way to squeak by the Jags, I just don't see them doing it in Denver. Like Jacksonville, Denver has a top rush defense. The Bills really struggled to run the ball with James Cook totaling only 46 yards on 15 carries. So basically 3 yards per carry. The problem for the Bills is, unlike the Jags, the Broncos also have a strong pass defense, and I think they're just going to frustrate Allen more than most think. I do have some concerns. You mentioned Bo Nix. It's his first playoff start, but the Bills' rush defense is atrocious. They're bottom 5. You saw what Etienne and Tootin did there. I see rookie RJ Harvey getting the rock a lot. I think Nix will take care of the ball. He'll be a good game manager. Bills, I think, could commit a few costly turnovers. And at home, it'll come down to the fourth quarter. I do think it's going to be tight, but I like the Broncos to win this game by a touchdown. All right, let's go to the 49ers traveling to Billstown to take on the Seahawks. Seattle's currently favored by 7.5. Pat, what do you got here?
Yeah, I don't think the Saturday games are going to provide much excitement. I think both these games, similar reasons here. Seattle's going to push San Fran to the ground and fart in their faces. Similar to what we're talking. I mean, that's just insult to injury. That's what you do when you got them down.
Like your little bro.
Sorry. They're going to bully him. That's what bullies do.
Yeah.
And they're going to, same thing. Injuries, Kittle out, Purdy. I don't know. I don't believe in Purdy as much as you do, Bierman. I think he's okay. But yeah, so give me a route. Both games, route.
And I hope you're right, Pat. It'd be nice to have a low stress one here, but I just don't see it playing out that way. It's just something about Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, stop this superstitious shit, dude.
No, it's not.
The team, dude.
It's not superstitious. It's not superstitious.
Oh my God.
I just think, look, here's the thing. Go back to the last time they played. The Seahawks absolutely dominated that game from start to finish, and it was 13-3. That was no Trent Williams in that game as well. Christian McCaffrey didn't do anything against the Seahawks. I feel like he has a better game. It might not be a great game. I think the Seahawks haven't given up a 100-yard rusher now in like 26 games or something. So emphasis will be on stopping CMC, make Brock Purdy beat you. They get Ricky Pearsall back. He's a decent player, not any great player, but so I feel like San Fran's going to be a little more dangerous than the last time they played. That being said, Lumen Field is going to be electric on Saturday night. I think the entire city is chomping at the bit. Give me the Hawks, double digits.
Are you going to the game?
No, we're not going to the game. Will's got soccer, but it's still going to be, absolutely electric in the city. And I just think Lumen Field, the crowd, the defense carries the day here. Hawks by double digits.
Clean sweep again. I've been slow to buying the Seahawks, but I think they roll in this one. San Fran without Kittle, that's tough. They had traveled cross country to Philly. Now they're back up to Seattle. They take on a well-rested Seahawks team with just a suffocating defense. I do not see this ending well for the 49ers. Now, their strength is their passing game, and that is one place on Seattle's D where they're a little more vulnerable. But I feel like the Seahawks are going to pound the rock. They're going to ask Darnold to be efficient with his throws. Smith and Jigba is going to do his thing when needed. Seahawks win this game by 20+ points. Not even close.
Yep.
All right, let's go to the Sunday games. We'll start with the Texans traveling to New England to battle the Pats. New England's favored by 3 at home. This one is a fascinating game to me. Pat, who do you like here?
Look, Houston they're going to murder someone. And I want no part of that defense. It will take something special from New England. If they can establish a run, then maybe they have a chance. Control the ball, run, clock management. And, CJ Stroud and that offense is kind of shitty. So, but man, that defense is crazy. Give me the Texans. By I think a low scoring. Like 15-13, something stupid.
Yeah.
Like that.
What about you?
I see it low scoring as well. I'm going Patriots. It's kind of goes against what I've been saying about defense and the importance there, I guess, all season. But I just feel like CJ Stroud and the Texans offense is so limited. Do we know if Nico Collins is playing? That concussion could be
he hit his head pretty good.
He hit his head. I don't know. That's a
bad.
Good.
Yeah, Nico Collins potentially out. I just think the Vrabel Drake May magic continues for another week. And if Denver wins, like I suggest, boy, I don't Patriots to the Super Bowl. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But this week, give me the Patriots.
The Houston defense is too good, in my opinion. They have now won 10 straight games. I do go back to New England, only beating 2 teams all season that finished with winning records. Guys, they're 15-3, and only 2 of those wins have come against teams with winning records. So no, I'm not completely sold on them. And while CJ Stroud has his issues, and that does concern me, I don't necessarily see him making like turnovers, because even though he had a couple yesterday, he actually is pretty good at taking care of the ball. I just don't know if he can make the big plays when needed, if he can step up when needed. But with that road monkey off their back, a lot of momentum, confidence in their D. And Drake May's great, but he's still a young quarterback, guys.
Mhm.
I think D'Amico Ryans is going to have this D ready, obviously, as always, and I think they're going to confuse and frustrate May all day long. I like the Texans to win this one outright, but I'm with Pat. It's going to be a close one. It's going to probably be low scoring. All right, let's finish it up. Let's look at the Rams going to Chicago to take on the Cardiac Kids themselves as comeback Bears. Who do you like in this one, Pat?
Well, it's a game I don't want to see either team lose. But I think the cold weather, outdoor, Rams not in a dome, I think that's a good neutralizer in this game. I think you can you can add that as a plus for the Bears. But I think we get a close game here. As far as picking a winner, I don't know. I guess give me Rams, but each I don't want to see either team lose. I like their story. I like the season they've been having. They're fun to watch. Teams I enjoy watching. I love Stafford, and I also like watching my son enjoy the Bears victories as a Bear. My son's a Bears fan, unfortunately, but it's fun to watch him get excited about it. And so I don't know. It's hard to say, but give me the Rams in a close one.
Yeah, I went Bears here, not because the Rams and Seahawks rivalry, but just because I think the Bears just keep finding a way to get it done. They're at home, and it feels to me like the Rams have kind of shot their shot. Like after the Seahawks took them out end of the year, it just feels like Stafford's been a little different. It feels like their defense just can't stop anybody, which they can't. And I just think that this one ends up being Bears find a way to get it done, even with Stafford and Puka. And so, yeah, I got the Bears traveling to Seattle for the NFC Championship game.
Wow. Yeah, I've not been sold on the Bears all year. I did pick them against Green Bay, though. They looked horrible most of that game, as we talked about. They woke up when it mattered. There's something special about this team. I said the Rams and Stafford just looked off. Something did not look right to me with Carolina. All that said, I have to believe they're going to put it together after that wake up call. They're just simply the better team on every realm. I mean, their coach, even I love Ben Johnson, but Sean McVay might be the best current head coach, period. Yeah. The Rams offense, when clicking, can't be stopped. Bears D is still bad. Rams D, while not elite, is still better than Chicago's. Rams and the Bears dreams, they win by double digits. All right, guys. Well, we can't break down only the NFL games and not touch on next Monday's CFP Championship game between Indiana and Miami. So let's talk briefly about this, make our picks here, since the next time we'll be on the air will be after that game. The line opened at 7. It's now up to Hoosiers -8.5. Keep in mind this game is being played in Miami at the Canes home field of Hard Rock Stadium. All right, Pat, break it down, sir. What do you see happening in this game? Who wins? Who covers?
Jeez, I don't know. It's a tough one. Look, I have to give it to Carson Beck. I always give Carson Beck shit. I mean, he looks like he just took a bong rip. And, I mean, have you ever taken a bong rip and tried to evade a pass rush? It's hard to do. It's difficult to do, but he can figure it out. I don't know. I should give the guy a break one of these days. But anyway, Malachi Tony, this is a kid who actually should be in high school, and he's like Tyreek Hill. He's a burner. He can fly. Indiana, however, they got the spirit. I mean, we got spirit. Yes, we do. Indiana has got the spirit, and they're on a mission from God. Pastor Signetti is leading them to their density. I mean, destiny. As a Back to the Future reference.
Yeah,
you get that one, Bierman? I figured you'd get that one.
I got it, brother. Yeah.
Give me the convicts to cover, but the chosen ones to prevail. Yeah. I get to watch this with my brother-in-law who went to IU during the lean years, too. So it should be fun. He's telling me they would essentially give tickets to football games away to students. Because back then, back then, Indiana basketball was the only game in town. And you buy Indiana, as a student, you buy the Indiana season tickets. They throw in some football tickets as well. So
not a shock. I mean, I heard, or Eric might have said, losingest team, they were passed by Northwestern, I think,
Northwestern.
right?
Yeah.
Losing team. Sorry, Pat. I cut you off at the very end.
No, that's it. That's all I got. Give me Indiana. but
Indiana
a
to win
Miami
it.
cover. Yep, but a
Okay.
Miami cover.
Yeah. Boy, that's a big line, national championship game, but I just don't see Indiana losing this game. Home game for Miami, fine. It's not going to matter. Signetti's going to have them ready to go. They got a better coach. They got a better quarterback. They got a better defense. Miami's defense is good. I think Indiana's defense is better. And they're going to win in the trenches on both sides of the football. That's the key to victory, I think. And Indiana's going to win this game by double digits.
Yeah, guys, seeing Miami and Carson back, specifically Carson back, stand toe-to-toe with Ole Miss in crunch time, and not only win in a fairly high-scoring game, they actually gave up the most points they have all season, Miami did. Yet, they did not flinch at all, highly maligned back, had ice water in his veins, leading those Canes down the field, then prancing in for the go-ahead touchdown with 18 seconds left. Now, I still believe that was pass interference by Miami on the final play of the game, but still a very impressive game by the Canes. They've earned their spot in this title matchup. And I do think there could be some value at that 8.5 number. And here's why. As good as Indiana has been, they've had 5 true road games this season. This is a true road game. And in 3 of those, they've had some of their smallest winning margins of the entire season. They won by 5 at Iowa, 10 at Oregon, and 3 at Penn State. So 3 of their 5 road games have been semi-close. So I do think it's a big deal that Miami is playing this game at home. That all said, Indiana will travel well. They'll have plenty of fans in that stadium. I just don't see the Canes hanging around with this team for 60 minutes. I know some might say that this line's inflated because of it's an overreaction to what we saw Indiana do to Oregon. And I've heard some say that there's value with Miami. There's not. There's a reason why Indiana steamrolled Oregon. This is one of the best teams we've seen in quite some time. And while Miami's D is good, so was Oregon's, so was Ohio State's. And by the way, Indiana's D is better, actually, than the Canes. Beck's going to make mistakes on the grandest stage here. Mendoza, Signetti, all those Hoosiers cap one of the most incredible stories in college football history. They will be crowned champs next Monday. Indiana 42, Miami 24.
One more thing about Beck. I know it just seemed like last year when you watch him at Georgia, he just seemed like he was frozen and he just didn't know how he couldn't move well. He's pretty fleet of foot. I didn't realize he can move really well in the pocket. He's got some good feet, and when he gets out in space, he's actually pretty fast. So and I mean, for a guy who, probably could recommend a good taco joint nearby, he's actually pretty good. He probably knows where to get good tacos.
You're coming around on this kid.
He probably knows where to get good tacos at 2 a.m. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, and one shout out too for everybody. If you haven't already checked it out, Eric wrote a really good article I recommend on the website about Indiana and their place in college football history. This specific team, really well done, Eric. Great article. And there's been a lot of great banter and comments as well. I've seen
and a lot of love.
Getting a lot of love. So go check it out. It's obviously there's a game to go, and Eric addresses that. But
wait, there's a website.
Yeah. Go check it out, Pat. Go check it out.
Yeah. Thanks for calling that out, man. That was one of probably more favorite articles I've written in a while. It was fun to research it, fun to write it, and been getting
really
a lot of
done.
good feedback on it. So yeah, thanks, man. All right, guys. Well, that is the longest opening we have ever had. Yeah, that was just the opening of the
now
pod.
The show starts.
We're an hour in, but I'm gonna jump right in to Nailed It. We've got a couple weeks left only. Go to CMNsports.com for more information on how to qualify and win a free trip to Vegas through our Nailed It competition. Congratulations to Week 18 winner Carrie Paston. Nice job, Carrie. We'll see you again for the Super Bowl finale edition in a few weeks.
I wonder if she's related to Mike Paxton.
She is related. I just don't know how. I just don't know how.
Is it?
But
yeah.
I don't know
Carrie
or John Paxton.
Yeah, it's not Paxton. It's Paston.
I know, but I'm not gonna let it die.
For our updated standings, it was a wash last week, guys. We
Yeah,
all
crazy, huh?
three got 3. You guys jumped out to an early lead. I had to win the last 2, and I did, thankfully, to tie it up. And all right, but it's still anyone's ball game. Pat leads at 45. I've got 41. Bill has 40. So tight. And remember, the Super Bowl one is 10 questions. So the Super Bowl one, there's a lot of room there for anybody to make some noise. So, all right, Bill. Get it going for us, buddy.
Well done last week, boys, all tying with 3 points. That was kind of crazy to see. I don't think that's ever happened. Let's get right into it. We've got 4 NFL questions, and we are going to show a little love to the national championship game, even though it's a Monday.
That's okay. Good.
All right. So the Seahawks, my beloved Seahawks, host the Niners. Biggest spread differential of the weekend. Yep, that's still true. Seahawks are currently 7.5-point favorites. What will be the difference in score in this one? All right, Bierman, 21. Oh, Pat, it's like you're reading our invisible ink.
I wasn't. I swear I'm not.
I'm going 13. I'm still showing the Hawks some love, winning by double digits, but I think it's going to be a little closer than you guys.
I'll submit my response first, just so we know.
Okay, yeah, we'll pause and wait for yours to come through. All right, question number 2. I wrote this one when Eric mentioned this, but Buffalo was favored initially in this game. So that when I wrote this, the Broncos seem to be the team getting the least love in the playoffs. They're number 1 seed. They're a 1.5-point dog. Now updated, they're 1.5-point favorites. Okay, at Mile High versus the Bills. The over/under is 46.5. What will the total points scored be in this one? Total points. Clet 41.
Whoa.
Bierman
Bill.
53. Sanders 33. I'm feeling like this is going to be a defensive battle a little bit, but I also have to try to make up ground because I'm in dead last place. Question number 3. It's going to be chilly in Chicago. Forecasted temp 14 degrees. Rams are 3.5-point favorites on the road against the Bears. This is the highest total at 50.5. Okay, for the divisional round. Curveball. What will be the longest made field goal in this game? Now, I should clarify, if there's no made field goal in the entire game, I think 0 would be the correct answer. Does that seem legit to you guys?
Sure.
Yeah.
35 yards, Pat Klett. 51 for Bierman. 55 for Sanders. Oof. Okay.
Ball doesn't travel far in Soldier Field.
No, I'm going off the grid with these answers this week. Question number 4. The Patriots host the Texans. I didn't know this when I was originally putting this together. Patriots will be the Texans. Should be a fascinating matchup. We talked about it. Great defense with the Texans. Patriots looked physical, I thought, in their matchup in the wild card round. How many total sacks will there be in this one? Combined. Klett 7, Bierman 6, Sanders 4. Okay, and Klett said all 7 will be by Houston Texans.
I had 8. I originally had 8. I do think there's gonna be a lot, but
I think 4 is way too low. 4 is way too low. Question number 5. We're gonna go to the college gridiron for this one. The national championship game, some love Monday night. Indiana is an 8.5-point favorite against the Canes in what is basically a home game for them. Signetti versus Cristobal. Mendoza versus Beck. What will be the longest play from scrimmage in the game? This is just run or pass. Okay, we're not counting any
not a
kickoffs.
Touchdown, just longest play.
Longest play, and this is not a kickoff or a punt return or anything. Just running, or rushing, or receiving. Klett 64, Sanders 61, Bierman 68. Nice.
Sandwiched. Dang it.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
I think all of those are too high. I think you're going to win that one.
I know. I think we were all stretching.
Those are big.
Malachi Tony could bust one, or
for sure.
How good are the Indiana receivers too? Yeah. And I know Mendoza probably makes them look.
What's
good.
That tight end? That tight end kid. Yeah.
Dude, I hate all of my nailed it picks. By the way, that I just lost the entire season because I sucked in a 3-minute span. Yeah, I did.
Good stuff. Good luck.
Good job,
this
Bill.
week, everybody. Yeah.
Good job, man, as always. All right, guys. Well, let's get into hot takes. That's right. It is time for CMN Sports Hot Takes, brought to you by Double Take Salsa. Double Take is craft made salsa and hot sauce with fresh ingredients and philosophy that flavor comes before fire. Every jar bursts with taste that keeps you dipping, and then the heat shows up just late enough to surprise you. For salsa lovers and flavor seekers alike, this is the real deal. Visit doubletakesalsa.com and be sure to give them a follow on Facebook and Instagram. All right, Pat, you know what time it is.
It's time for medium takes, mild takes, mild takes. Bill will do the hot takes. Bill will do the scorching hot takes. I'll do the medium takes. Bob Weir passed away this week. I don't know. I'm not a huge Deadhead, but I do like the Dead. I like some of their songs. My dad came home from work when I was in high school, and I was just going through some vinyls at home, and my brother had some Grateful Dead. And my dad comes in the room. He's like, "What are you listening to?" And I'm like, "Kevin's CDs, the Grateful Dead." He's like, "Patrick, I don't ask much, but I don't want you listening to this." Because he didn't want me to be like, "Man, come on, Dad." Yeah, so I get it. And while my father was a wealth of wisdom, and I listened to his advice a lot, but by third year at college, I was listening to the Dead, and I like a lot of their songs. So shout out to Bob Weir, and he was a dude. Other than that, yeah, RIP. Olympics in less than a month, and I can't wait. And I'm sure Eric, leading up to it, will have some stuff for us. But I don't know if you guys saw some of the new events, but ski mountaineering. Did you get a look at this one? It's a combination between cross country skiing, mountain climbing, and downhill skiing. So essentially, like, they take them out to these huge peaks. They gotta hoof it all the way up, and then they gotta like cross country ski a little bit of it, and then finally downhill race down. So it looks kind of cool. So look, I love the Winter Olympics. It's probably my favorite of the two Olympics. So I'm excited. Hopefully Eric's got some sweet stuff dialed up for this leading up to it, and I just can't wait. And then my last saying, the top 100 baseball players entering the season according to MLB Network. Bill, my question to you, where do you think they put your boy Cal Raleigh?
Top 100
what
players.
Number? What number do you think they put
this
Cal?
This is pitchers and batters?
Pitchers, batters, all batters. Players. Yep.
Well, I feel like you wouldn't be asking me this unless he was super high, but top 5. I'll say 4th.
59th.
Dang, I went the wrong way. Shoot.
That seems disrespectful for the guy who's second in MVP in the AL. They put him at 59 behind Adley Rutschman, another catcher for the Orioles, right? Young kid.
That seems bizarre.
He didn't even crack the top 50. I think that's disrespectful to you. Your boy Julio Rodriguez even got up in 23rd. So
okay. Was he the highest little bit of Mariner?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that feels a little low.
Shohei, Judge, Bobby Witt for Kansas City, Juan Soto,
can't
and
argue with
Mookie Betts. I think Mookie Betts is overrated. His bat went cold in the series. Anyway, I thought that was disrespectful to you,
cool.
So I thought I'd bring that up.
That feels a little disrespectful. Yeah, for sure. 59th, that seems low. I mean, 4th was ridiculous. I was just thinking Shohei, a couple Judge, and then after that, I was like, I don't know, maybe he slotted in there, but that seemed high.
No.
Yeah, that's interesting. What was the highest twin? Did you see that?
Royce Lewis. He was like 88th or 89th.
Jeez, if he could stay healthy, that guy would actually be pretty decent. But, okay. Nice. Is that it for the mild takes?
That's the mild takes. Let's go into the
bring it up.
Hottest of takes.
I'm bringing that Scoville count through the roof for my hot take this week, and it is. I don't think I've been this excited for something that means absolutely nothing in my life in a long time than Brooks Koepka returning to the PGA Tour.
That's cool.
And it's not even so much about Brooks, although I've been a fan of Brooks. I mean, through the years, I don't have any dislike for Brooks necessarily. I thought in the Netflix Full Swing, he was really, really good. Sad story about his wife miscarrying. So he's had a rough go the last year or two. So I'm rooting for him to have success, I guess. But the bigger picture for me is two things. One, for the fans. feels like we finally win if they're able to start reuniting some of these players, get him onto one tour. Golf is such a big part of my sports fandom these days. So really looking forward to having Brooks back, and hopefully there'll be some other guys, which leads me to my number 2 point, which is what a giant FU to Phil Mickelson. And it just made me so happy that Phil is getting this big giant middle finger from Brian Rolap, the new CEO of the PGA Tour. And that is, they carved the player returning program out to include players that have won a major since when? 2022. When did Phil win his major? 2021 PGA Championship.
Nice.
Becoming the oldest player in history, by the way, to win a major. So it's not like Phil is, so far over the hill that the guy can't compete. But they basically just said, fuck you, Phil. You've done all this stuff. Now, tons of my buddies and others have argued as well, and I think rightfully so. Phil did so much for the PGA Tour guys to just start this whole thing, to get this conversation going. But all of the nonsense with Phil, all of the shenanigans from golf and then outside of golf. Now, take your political beliefs aside and all the other things, but Phil has gone off the deep end with his shenanigans. And so for me, I just look at it and I just think, what a beautiful bit of justice here to bring for the fans, bring the guys hopefully back together. Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, Cam Smith. Those are the only other players on the LIV Tour.
Yep.
Yeah. And those are the guys that move the needle. Those are the guys that we want to see come back. When do they have to decide by? February 1st. So, guys,
I would argue Joaquin Neiman as well.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's some youngsters and some other good players on there. I love Ty Hatton. I love Terrell Hatton.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's
Hatton,
really good
sure.
for the game. Yeah. And so I would have loved to see Hatton come back as well. But this window, guys, is this big. You have until February 1st to tell us whether you're coming back or not. This is Brian Rolap. This dude comes over from the NFL, and he is just getting shit done. He is like, we are going to do what's right for the fans of the game. We're going to take care of our current members. Koepka's not taking a spot from a player that was slated to play in the signature events. No, he's going to have to earn his way back into the signature events. He pays $5 million to charity. There was a whole bunch of other things, I think, in the player equity program and other revenue that he will not have a chance to win for a certain amount of time. And Brooks, with contrition, apologizes basically by saying, look, I made a mistake. I want to come back to the tour. If you LIV changing to 72 holes and now their best players, most marketable players, one of them at least has come back to the PGA Tour, hard to imagine this league surviving or thriving into the future. And that also makes me a little bit happy. I just would, again, as a fan, I'd love to see these guys all come together and play in one tour. So super, super happy to see that news come down this week. That is my one hot take.
Scorching.
Love it. Love it. So I got a couple guys. I don't know if you saw this or not, but did you happen to read about the reporter in Jacksonville who went to the post-game press conference? Yeah.
I did see
that. And
that.
instead of asking a question, she stood up and offered encouragement to Liam Cohen. This is exactly what she said. Quote, I just want to tell you, congratulations on your success, young man. You hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season. You did a great job out there today. You just hold your head up, okay? Keep it going. We got another season, okay? Take care and much continued success to you and the entire team. And Cohen responded, thank you, ma'am. And honestly, that should have been the end of it. Short, kind moment, but it wasn't. The woman who said this, Lynn Jones, who's covered Jacksonville sports for decades, got absolutely crushed online. People said a reporter must always stay objective, that she crossed the line, that she should be ashamed of herself, all because she didn't ask a question and instead chose to give encouragement to a head coach. Are you freaking kidding me? So we've reached a point where we can't even allow a 20-second moment of kindness now between two adults, where an older woman offering grace to a coach after a tough loss is somehow unprofessional. I don't care what her job title is. What she did wasn't biased. It wasn't political. It wasn't manipulative. It was human. We live in a tough world, boys, and sports is brutal. Yes, they make good money, but the pressure these guys are under is immense. But we keep watching, We keep tuning in and we tell them, suck it up, suck it up. And then when someone chooses empathy for half a minute, we decide that is the freaking problem. If that's where we are, then we've lost the whole fucking point. This wasn't about journalism standards. This was about basic decency, human decency, about remembering there are people behind the podiums, behind the headsets, behind the logos, real people dealing with life every single day. And honestly, if we can't make room for one small moment of kindness in a press conference, then what the hell are we doing? I'll tell you what we're doing. We then are stripping humanity of everything, and it's not the world I want to live in. It's definitely not the one I want my kids growing up in, that's for sure. So kudos, Miss Jones, for saying what you did and keep doing more of that. All right, my second one, guys, I'm going to just keep going on the rants because, and this is going right to Seattle. The Seahawks recently told season ticket holders that their renewal eligibility could be impacted if it's determined that their tickets were, quote, used primarily for resale purposes. The exact wording was, quote, as communicated prior to the 2025 season, 2026 renewal eligibility may be impacted if it is determined that your season tickets, including any playoff game, were used primarily for resale purposes. I cannot begin to tell you how much this shit irritates me, guys. First, I'll acknowledge the Seahawks aren't alone here. As a longtime Bengals season ticket holder, I know they have a similar policy. I'm sure most NFL teams do. It doesn't make it any less ridiculous. Here's the issue. I bought these tickets. You offered them at a price. I agreed to that price. I paid it. At that point, those tickets become mine. That is how supply and demand works. That is how ownership works. That is how capitalism works. I now own those tickets. I should be able to do whatever the fuck I want to do with them, including selling them to someone else. You don't offer to buy them back from me if I can't go. You don't offer to guarantee me a refund if the team sucks or if the market dries up. But the moment I happen to make money on a game or two, suddenly I'm misusing my tickets. In the words of the immortal John McEnroe, you cannot be serious. Yes, I get the teams want their fans in the stadium, not the opponents there. But that's not what this is about. Let's be honest. That's not what this is about. This is not about protecting the fan experience. If that were the case, teams would not happily raise prices every year. They wouldn't sell massive blocks to corporate sponsors. This is about the fact that in certain games, the team realizes, oh shit, we could have charged more. And now you're annoyed that someone else benefited from a market you created. You can't have it both ways. If you think your tickets are in a price, raise the price before you sell them. The market will tell you whether fans will pay it or not. But once you've sold them, you're done. You've made your money. That's how it works. You don't get to turn around and tell me I can only use them myself or give them away at cost to another fan while you reserve the right to profit at every step. Because what you're really saying is this: we want the benefits of capitalism when we're the ones setting the price, but we don't like it when the secondary market works in someone else's favor. That is not about fans. That is about control. Don't sell me something, take my money, and then get upset when I treat it like what it is, mine. I bought the ticket. It belongs to me. And what I choose to do with my own property should not be up to the NFL.
Preach, Pastor Bierman. Let's go. Good, man. Yeah,
guys,
I get what they're trying to do. I get what they're trying to do. But yeah, you're exactly right. Like just because you can't control the price now. Yeah. But I get what they're trying to do. Like limit, like it's kind of the same with concert tickets. Concert tickets, guys will sweep up like a whole bunch of concert tickets and then jack up the prices. It's.
But again, even that I have a problem with that. If someone buys all the tickets, okay, and then they try to sell them for more, then you should have offered them for more. Like you should have sold them for more. If this guy can go buy 40,000 tickets at 500 and he thinks he can go then sell them for 700 each, he's either going to get fucked and never do that again, or you need to raise your prices.
But it's a free market, right? It should be a free market. Yeah.
That's the point.
It's bonkers. The season tickets, I mean, Bierman, I know you got out of your Bengals
I
ones,
did.
right?
I'm done. I'll
Yeah.
never have them again. I'll
And
never have
we
them.
got out of our Kraken tickets this last year, and you can go buy tickets in the aftermarket for so much cheaper and just pick the games that you want to go to and that you're able to go to. It's the advantages of being season ticket holders. I
No,
think
it's not
those
there.
days are.
No, and I mean, the most times me trying to sell my tickets when I couldn't go, I couldn't sell them.
Yeah,
I could maybe
that's
sell
tough.
them for cost, maybe, but half the time I couldn't. So that now when they make the playoffs, you're telling me I can't frickin' try and make some money? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah.
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's
so
so
poor.
greedy. It just irritates the hell out of me. So
Yeah.
thanks guys for letting me go off there. All right, let's get into our top 5 and finish off this episode. Boys, we're gonna start the new year by talking about bad people. That's right. This week's top 5 is all about our favorite, or at least most memorable villains of all time in entertainment history. This can be from TV, movies, books, even songs. The idea is simple. Who are your favorite or most memorable villains to you and why? You can use whatever criteria you want to define favorite or most memorable. Just be ready to explain why they made your list. All right, Pat, start us off.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with a villain that's that you probably wouldn't think of, but Paul Gleason, aka Mr. Vernon from The Breakfast Club, the principal.
Oh yeah, no, he's a villain. Yeah,
he represented the man, the faculty, the one who keeps us imprisoned on a Saturday detention. And
what was his name again? The character's
Mr.
name?
Vernon. Mr. Vernon.
Mr. Vernon.
Mhm.
Mr. Vernon. Dude, that's a great one.
I got you for the rest of your natural born life if you don't watch your step. You want another one? Yeah. Ian Bender.
Dude, that guy was a great character actor.
He was a great character.
He was a Die Hard too. He was a dick in Die Hard too.
Yeah. He's very good at being and Johnny Be Good, which was another movie with Anthony Michael Hall.
Terrible movie.
He played that villain very well. So for me, he's one of the first villains that I found entertaining, and I remember how well he played that part, and just so many quotable moments with Mr. Vernon. So yes, Mr. Vernon is number 5. Number 4 for me is Roger Verbal Kent, played by Kevin Spacey in the Usual Suspects.
He was my number 6, dude. He literally almost made my list.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. He lured the audience in. And you don't want to say his real name,
so right? Because you don't want to give a spoiler alert.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I think it. Spoiler alert for a movie that was 30 years ago. Kaiser Sose. Yeah, Kaiser Sose. Yeah, amazing performance. Too bad
that's a great movie.
He's a creepy dude now in real life, but Kevin Spacey.
We're talking about villains on the screen, not in real life. That's a totally different category.
Easy, settle down.
Somebody doesn't like your
Rocks does not like your pick.
No. Jeez. Yep. So that's 5 and 4 for me.
All right. What do you got, Bill?
All right. Well, hopefully Rocks is done barking at whoever the intruder is in our house. So my number 5 and 4, I kind of went with some legends. I felt like to start off my list. The Shining was one of the first really incredibly scary movies that I remember in my lifetime as a kid. Jack Nicholson as Arthur Jack Torrance. He was so good in this movie. I mean, if you just think about the performance of Jack Nicholson, just unbelievable. Unbelievable movie.
Yeah.
And he was so scary. I mean, and it was not because of, horror or whatever else. It was just absolutely wicked and
insanity.
Terrifying. Yeah. And so as he slowly loses his mind, he just continues to get scarier and scarier. And Shelley Duvall was really good in it as well. And I just felt so badly for her throughout the whole movie as he unraveled. So he was my number 5.
Great one.
My number 4, I went with Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs. I was in doing some research, 1991, this movie. I was, I didn't exactly remember when it was. I knew it was around high school. I would have thought it was a little bit later, but he's just one of those defining characters. And just absolutely horrible, incredibly scary, physically and intellectually, I thought. And so that was one of the things that and some super quotable lines, which obviously stick with us to this day. Farva beans, etc. So
Nice
in a
battered
nice Chianti.
Yeah.
Those are my 5 and 4. How about you, Eric? Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it. So I actually wanted to mix up my list a little bit, have some from different entertainment types, and there, plenty to choose from TV and movies. Songs weren't so easy, but there was one villain from a song that popped out, and it's one hell of an awesome villain, and it really is a no-brainer. And I think you'll agree when you hear it, especially for us. I'm going with Sandman from Enter Sandman. I mean, guys, listen to the lyrics about this title
Nice.
character. Okay, watch out, scary stuff. This guy's a badass. Listen, say your prayers, little one. Don't forget, my son, to include everyone. I tuck you in, warm within, keep you free from sin till the Sandman he comes. Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. Exit light, enter night. Take my hand, we're off to never, never land. Something's wrong, shut the light. Heavy thoughts tonight, and they aren't of Snow White. Dreams of war, dreams of liars, dreams of dragons' fire, and of things that will bite. Yeah. That is one freakish villain, dude. Give me Sandman for my number 5. Number 4, I'm going TV. I can't remember. Are you guys 24 fans or not?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not me, no.
Yeah. Okay. It's probably my number 1 favorite show of all time. Good job.
Yep.
Certainly top 3. And if you are listening and don't want to hear any spoiler alerts from a show that happened almost 30 years ago, I would suggest you skip ahead or turn down the volume right now, because I got to go with Nina Myers, who for most of season 1 appears to be a good guy, then turns very bad the last episode of that season. She actually kills Jack's wife. And then she becomes an even bigger baddie in seasons 2 and 3 before Jack says enough of this and puts her down. But not only was she conniving and smart and fooled basically everyone around her, guys, she was also really hot. And that has to get some points on this list. So we are going with Nina at number 4.
I went with my number 3. I went with Javier Bardem, played Anton Chigurh in No Country for Old Men. A haunting villain. Just crazy.
So haunting.
Like he brings around that like high pressured, like whatever compressor. And he's just killing people with this air compressor. He's crazy. And just the way he was so creepy. And he played it so well. And his hair was so bad. It was awesome. And then number 2, obviously, you guys know I'm going Citizens of Gotham.
Dude,
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, you got it.
But this is I'm going to pull a page out of Bierman's book and go, I'm doing 2 Batman villains.
You're doing the Joker too?
Heath Ledger, Batman, the Joker.
Yeah, you got to.
And Bane.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy. Those 2.
Dude, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Those 2 are good.
So good. I have to go back and watch the Batman, because all the Bane impressions just go right over my head.
Out of respect for your dad, I'm no longer doing Bane impressions because he didn't like them.
He came around on the Bane impressions. He came around.
He did.
But
okay.
Yeah, okay. He did. My number 3, I went with this one's felt a little bit more off the grid. I don't know if you guys will know this one, but I went with Christoph Waltz, who was SS Colonel Hans Landa in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
I like Christoph Waltz too, so that's
great
probably part of this. He's just a great actor, but he was so charming and psycho in this movie. That was what I thought made him like this character. And again, it's Tarantino, and so the dialogue and everything I thought is just so on point. Whether it's him enjoying his strudel or speaking in multiple languages to all these people so that he can relate to them before he basically just wants to end their lives. So Hans Landa was my number 3. My number 2, this is the only woman on my list. I went with Kathy Bates as Annie Wilkes in Misery. And you guys remember, obviously, James Caan's character, the author, gets stuck in the snow, finds his way to her house. She is a huge fan of his, and then goes from fangirl to absolute psycho. When she finds that he's tried to escape and the penguin had slightly shifted on the end table or whatever, and so then she ends up hobbling him with the sledgehammer to the knees. I mean,
that's
such a
Bill. That's
crazy
two Stephen
scene.
King references that you've given us.
Because
I
The Shining,
appreciate that.
right?
That's
That's right. So Kathy Bates, Annie Wilkes gets my number 2.
So, all right, guys. For my number 3, it's a stretch to say I'm using the hot angle on this one as well, because it's not because of him, but he does have a hot niece that made me pause a certain scene or two in this movie as a youngster many times. And he's a golfer, albeit a bad one. But that does get special consideration on my list as well. So I'm going with Judge Smales of Caddyshack. I mean, he's rich, he's powerful, he has a yacht, he belongs to a country club, he likes golf, he likes betting. I mean, what is there not to like about this guy? Beyond the fact that he's a total schmuck.
Too.
But exactly. He's a total schmuck, but that's kind of what makes a villain a villain. And he gets his in the end. But, frankly, the guy should deserve some credit. He allowed Noonan to have his day in the sun. Without Smales, that guy would still be lugging around bags and running from gophers. So Smales, you make my list, buddy. Nice job. And then number 2, it's the only animal on my list. And there are actually many animals that could have made this list, but none ripped people's limbs off when they were just trying to enjoy a nice holiday weekend at the beach. That's right. We were going with Jaws, guys. This freaking shark not only liked eating people, but it basically got into a mental cat and mouse game with Captain Brody. And Jaws was like, you think you're smarter and better than me? Fuck that, buddy. I'm a goddamn great white shark. I will terrify you and your family no matter where you go. And while Jaws finally met his demise, it wasn't before he took down Quint, prompted one of the greatest lines in cinematic history, you're going to need a bigger boat. And even though Jaws is long gone, not one person to this day gets into an ocean without at least a passing thought of good old Mr. Jaws. So he or she, I don't know. I don't know what gender Jaws was, but Jaws is my number 2.
Nice.
Almost a 2, Pat, because I have Jaws, but a different Jaws. The Bond villains. Any Bond villain is my number 1.
Nice.
The guy Jaws.
Dude. Yeah.
And then the other one is Creepy. Odd Job with the hat. He takes off the top hat and it throws it like a boomerang. Yeah. I mean, look, and all these villains from Bond, you got these amazing layers. And I just like to think, I think of the poor workers that were killed when Bond blows them up, probably just worker bees putting their heads down, trying to make a buck. And, that's why these villains were so evil.
You know who I think played the Jaws character that you're talking about? It's the same guy, I believe, that is in Happy Gilmore, who says, don't kill people, I kill people.
Yep. I think it is.
Wow.
I think it is.
Yeah,
what a legacy.
Sure
but yeah, any Bond, I mean, just because the Bond villains were so good. Like, you got the funny names and then the exotic layers and there's just so much about them that's fun on so many different levels. But my honorable mentions, any Shakespeare villains that were motivated by jealousy or lust for power. That's pretty much the OG of villains. Were taken from Shakespeare. Any villain that you have is probably taken loosely from a Shakespeare novel.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then last one, shout out that just didn't make the list but was really good was Max Cady, Robert De Niro in Cape Cod.
Dude, that movie,
wherever you are,
dude, he is freaky. Dude.
He was a
creepy,
creepy villain.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Eric may have the same one for me as number 1, but I'm really surprised that we don't have any duplicates. I was thinking that we'd have a bunch, but as we were even talking about them, I was thinking about other ones as well, like the 5-fingered man in Princess Bride. I was like, that would have been a good one to throw in there. But yeah, I went Alan Rickman, Hans Gruber, Die Hard.
Yeah, I knew
I bet you did
I
too.
figured you
I
would.
thought you guys both would.
He was an
Masterclass
honorable
villain.
Masterclass. I've talked enough about Die Hard on this show, so I didn't. But yeah, he's incredible.
Rickman, rest in peace, right? Rest in peace. My Aunt Debbie, she loved Alan Rickman. Well, still does. And I think that in part, I also have a little special place in my heart for Hans Gruber because of my Aunt Deb. And anyway, Rickman was just so fantastic in this movie. I mean, the one-liners, the cold-blooded murder, the evil diabolical plan, and he's so good and so sharp in it. So he's my number one.
You cannot argue with that one, dude. Well, guys, my first 4 villains, there's really nothing redeeming about any of them. They're bad at the core. They never change. But sometimes, guys, villains can have a heart of gold that we just don't see until we really look. So my number 1 goes back to the 1980s, one of the meanest bullies the movies has ever produced. I could have went with the Sensei John Kreese, but no, I'm going with Johnny Lawrence from The Karate Kid. This guy pummels poor old Daniel LaRusso, almost killing him several times, all because Daniel hit on his girlfriend, tried to defend her when Johnny was harassing her. Yeah, big guy Johnny, and you're big guy when you have all your buddies with you to back you up when needed. But, at the very end, we see a different side of Johnny, a softer side. He actually tells LaRusso he's okay as he hands him the trophy. Oh, thanks, Johnny. That makes up for everything and all the beatings you gave me over the past few months. Appreciate it, buddy. But if you then watch Cobra Kai, which I have several times and I love it, you get a lot more of Johnny's backstory. You understand why he was kind of a bad guy in that first movie. He matures. He actually goes from villain to hero. And that, my friends, is not something that you can say about too many bad guys. And that is why Johnny Lawrence is my number 1. Oh, and he used to date Allie with an I, who was played by Elizabeth Shue. And she was my number 1 crush forever. So he gets massive points for that.
It all ties back to the leading lady.
Yeah. It does, man.
It's Elizabeth Shue. I get you. I hear you.
Oh, God, I love Elizabeth Shue. Love her, man. All right. Good job, guys. It's all,
that was fun.
We talk about heroes all the time. It's nice to give the bad guys some love every once in a while. So good job with that. All right, Bill, you got anything to share about pools?
Yeah, I hope you guys will all check out golf. 2026 PGA pools have launched this week. You may or may not see this before the Calcutta deadline, which is Wednesday, January 14th. So we've got a little more than a day left before that deadline happens. That should be a really fun one to monitor tomorrow night. And then first tee on Thursday, you've got sticks and stones, which is 2 fun formats, pick-X type pick'ems for golf that are more season long. And then the last one I'll call out is called Top 25. And that's an optional one. You can jump in and out each week. You just have to pick 4 players to finish in the top 25 of the tournament. If you get all 4 qualified for that, then you win the pot. Very straightforward and easy. And all of these should be a ton of fun. Even if you don't get in this week, keep an eye out for other ones that will just be single event tournaments. And then we have a whole bunch of stuff coming around the Masters week as well.
Love it.
It's a tradition like any other.
Tradition like. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, man. Can't wait for golf. Once again, another great show. Bill and Pat, thank you both. And to all of our listeners as well for always tuning in. Greatly appreciated. And I know we all wish we could keep it going today, but sadly, it is time to exit Sandman Sports. Lots of awesome football again this weekend with the Divisional Round games, the CFP Championship next Monday, and the first official golf tournament of 2026. So enjoy it all. Have a great weekend, Sandman Nation. Peace out and take care.
Good luck, everybody.